Welcome folks, this is the market review for Tuesday 19th of December. So this is pound dollar. This is a 15-minute chart. So we had one setup today at 2 is when I start looking for my entries and seeing what price is doing around that time. So at 2, during that window of time, we had this run to the downside, taking out the buy side, which to me acted as a Judas swing, a false move. So when I saw this was a good opportunity for longs, and aiming for this high. We had this inefficiency, and also we had that high. So we also, if you missed this entry, we had this inefficiency. So as I always say, a gap is king to everything. So whenever you see price approaching a gap, whether you are maybe you are selling short right here, you could be taking partials inside that gap and then going into break even, because gaps will be respected more than anything else. So and especially during the kill zones. So whenever you see a gap, either you enter inside the gap, maybe if it gives you an entry, you do that, or take partials inside that gap, because it might act as support and then reverse on you. So you should be very careful and know that anytime you see a gap, that should not be ignored. So we had a run inside the gap, and then we had a reverse to the upside, and then we have already taken out this high, as you can see right there. Also we had this inefficiency, which we are inside that, as you can see. We pretty much consolidated inside the inefficiency. So the reason why I take my trades during London Open Killzone is because it tends to move faster, and it has a cleaner price action than during New York Open Killzone. Sometimes you might find a setup here, but sometimes it's very hard. But during London Open is when you find clean setups. So we had that run high, aiming for the buy side right there, and inside the inefficiency, and eventually that high. But we could be aiming for that inefficiency. So you aim for something that is not too far for price to get there. So we had that. So if you head over to a 1-minute chart, we had that. So we had this run to the downside, taking out the sell side, and then time here, folks, is what makes the difference, because at this time is when price is taking out the sell side, sorry, and that should be your time for you to place your entries and anticipate for a run higher, because this will always act as a Judas swing. So we have that, and then we had this inversion fair value gap, when price repriced higher and closed. We had a candle close right above the midpoint of the inversion fair value gap. So when that happened, that would have been your your entry when this candle was trading down into the lower half of the inversion fair value gap. So that would have been your entry for longs right there, and then your stop, either you place your stop right below those lows or below these bullish order block. So you have that, and then you could be aiming for that inefficiency which we had right there. So this was a 8-hour trade, which was quite okay for a silver bullet. So that was it. And if you missed this, then your entry, you'll wait for price to maybe come back inside this inefficiency, and then you could be going long right there. But this is quite risky. So whenever maybe we had these highs right there, you take partials half, maybe you take something out at that point, and then go to break even right there. So as you can see, price would have played out right there. So you and you could have already paid yourself because of the partial that you've taken. So it is always a good practice for you to take partials. So this was the 15-minute inefficiency. We colored outside the inefficiency, but we are only trading inside again the inversion fair value gap and also inside the other gaps. So we had that. This could have been your long entries. As you can see, we had a market structure shift right there. So this, you could have added a position to that, and also right there, place your stop right there below the 15-minute gap, and you aim for these highs right there. So aim for that high. So this was a 7-hour trade, which was quite okay. So you had that run, partials, break even, and then wait for price to reprice higher. So that was, there were 2 trades right there, and then we had that run until now. Here is where we are. So I guess that's it for today. I'll be doing a beginner course. It will be a step-by-step course into ICT. So I'll be teaching on what I know based on the beginner perspective. So until I talk to you next time, be safe.